How's everything going?
It's been going good.
Yeah, busy?
Busy.
That's the best word to describe a day in the life of Dr. Brent Cazzany, the Medical Director of Emergency Management for Texas Children's Hospital, who's been helping patients since 2005.
We kind of refer to the emergency center sometimes as being controlled chaos. Working in the busy clinical shift, and we're seeing lots of patients come in, trauma patients, kids with chronic medical issues that are really sick. I've been able to, I think, use some of the same tools that I use in that clinical setting in that more administrative side of my job, and really try to bring some calm and control to the chaos that sometimes comes up.
Not only does Dr. Cazzany work directly with patients at TCH emergency centers, but he goes beyond the hospital bed to implement policies and plans for natural disasters.
Something that we really pride ourselves on is being here for our community. And whether it's the pandemic or the winter storm or Hurricane Harvey, we try to always show up for our community and be here as a resource, even in the midst of those horrific events that are impacting our communities.
We'll go ahead and go into trauma. We'll sign some rolls and we'll be ready to go. They should be here in about an hour.
Sounds good. I'll go talk to the other docs who'll be on the team. We'll be in there in a second.
Sounds good.
One of those people helping to get the job done is pediatric nurse Elena Wiseman.
Being a pediatric emergency room nurse specifically, we have to take care of the child. We're also taking care of the parent and the whole family. Kiddos are so resilient, and seeing kids sick will never be easy, but knowing that we're a small part of making them better is what really makes us get up and do this every day.
But what does that day look like for Elena?
A typical day in the ER is either, for myself, you're either working at bedside with a pod of nurses and you're taking care of kiddos at bedside, or you're working in triage and an intake and you are greeting patients they walk in. We work in the trauma room, which is where we are now, taking care of our sickest patient population in these rooms to expedite care for those kiddos and ensure that they get the best care possible.
And at the end of a long, busy day caring for patients, both Dr. Cazzany and Nurse Elena can look to their biggest supporters that in return care for them.
For me, it's obviously my family. I'm married, have 2 children, a 4-year-old son and an almost 7-year-old daughter. And I think just getting to spend time with them outside of that chaos and controlled chaos of work really brings that sense of calm and kind of helps ground you to the work that you're doing and the importance of the work that you're doing.
Definitely, since I became a mom, it's even much more relatable in a moment in the emergency room, just to be present for them and to provide comfort. Things definitely change when you become a mom, and so you're that much more aware of what the other parents are going through.
A 10-year-old is paying honor to the Bells for Abigail movement, an officer that fought courageously through cancer. He's on a mission to get sworn in with 100 law enforcement agencies, and he's doing so with a lot of laughter along the way. Spending just a few minutes with 10-year-old Devorje, you'll learn that he's one talented comedian.
Why did the banana go to the hospital?
Because it was peeling.
No, because it wasn't peeling well.
And while he's laughing on the outside, he's been fighting on the inside, battling brain and spine cancer for almost 5 years.
The positive energy that he's receiving and the love and the communities coming together to say, we're here for you, is given, like I said, that gives you a mental and emotional fuel to, hey, I'm going to beat this cancer.
Helping him beat it are the women and men in blue, serving as Devorje's heroes after inspiring him following their good deeds during Hurricane Harvey. Now he's on a special mission to become an honorary officer for 100 law enforcement agencies. And that mission is pressing ahead after wrapping up yet another swearing-in ceremony.
I was overwhelmed.
He's right. That's a good word. It was exactly what I figured, and I knew that it was going to come from men and women in uniform in the community, because we can come together.
God darn it, I didn't even bring my joke book.
But it's been no joking matter for this young comedian. Devorje has been through several surgeries, coming back stronger every time.
When he recovered, which was pretty quick, about 30 minutes, he came out and saying that God told me that I was one of his angels. And I was like, really? And then he started praying. And then he sang his song that I didn't know that he knew the whole words to, was God is awesome. And then he said, God is good.
And Devorje is really good at making people laugh and feel great.
What does a house wear? Don't nobody say it. It's addressed.
Each one of those brain surgeries that he's gotten, he's actually changed personalities. He's had 11 of those. On that 11th one, that's where his laugh came from.
A laugh needed through this difficult time, something Devarge's father is thankful for.
He really drives me. God sends his messages through the purest forms, which are children, and he will get his message through. And I hate to say it, whatever message that he put in Devarge's mind and his heart, he's doing it because he's changing the world, and he's showing that we can come together for one cause, especially in times of like sickness and stuff like that. We can help each other out. That's what we need right now. We need a sense of healing.
Which is what this comedian, officer, and cancer warrior is offering right up.
It's a banana phone.
Swim Across America is an organization that raises money for local hospitals for cancer research. They're celebrating their 35th anniversary, and one of its members is a local 60-year-old swimmer that's keeping his father's memory alive every time he takes a dive.
My name is Rob McLaren. I'm a 60-year-old swimmer. I started as a child with the local swim team. I was 8 years old, and the swim team was located only a couple of miles from here in a subdivision called Norchester. My dad was a World War II Depression-era kid, so he had a hard life growing up. He had polio as a young man and was left with one leg 2 inches shorter, so there were not a lot of sports my dad could do. Swimming was one of them. That process of getting into shape got him ready for a 6-hour surgery for pancreatic cancer. Dad was an extremely generous man, and he had a heart for people who had it rough, and he knew that he was very fortunate despite having a rough beginning growing up in the Depression, but he responded to that not out of bitterness but out of kindness. He would have wanted me and told me in so many words to use your gifts to help others. I'm here at beautiful Lake Longhorn in Houston, ready to do the Swim Across America event for MD Anderson. I remembered how helpless you feel when you're diagnosed with cancer, or if it's a loved one, that all you can really do is sort of be there for emotional support, and that's not really affecting the disease itself. And Swim Across America and swimming was the way that I was able to respond to that, by combining my love of swimming to raising funds and to growing a community of survivors and their family members. I love swimming anyway, but to be able to swim and know that I am making a direct impact on cancer, bringing cures, and to hopefully help make cancer history, it's a triple win, and I'm going to do it as long as I can. God has placed us all here on this earth for a reason. He does not want us to be miserable. He wants us to be happy, and he wants us to enjoy every day and live every day as if it were our last.
This is Not Your Normal Bike Gang. They're a group of talented young students at Love Elementary in the Heights, kicking their creativity into overdrive.
We have a tradition of every year doing a whole school photo, and it's of all the different colors of the rainbow. They all have their own unique creativity in their pieces, and when you put them all together, it's like really shows everything that Love has to offer. Tomas is Love's art instructor and has been working at the school for a number of years, providing an outlet for students to help stretch their imagination. An outlet special education instructor Jamie Lampert says is something every student can enjoy.
Fine arts does so much for so many students, especially the special needs students. So when we thought of this idea, we wanted something that they could participate in and just be a part of making a gigantic rainbow for our school. So with every twist and turn of string and wire, students were able to transform this average bike into a work of colorful art after being guided for a few weeks by their awesome teacher.
I think he's a really fun guy, and I really like working on flowers and the flower bike.
He has been giving me more ideas, and I have make my own ideas too.
Now everyone will be able to see their idea roll down the street during this year's first ever Art Bike Parade.
I'm super excited for the Art Bike Parade. I feel like the Art Car Parade is something not every kid can relate to. Being little, they can't drive, but riding a bike is such an important part of kids' childhoods that just seeing all these bikes decorated, artistic, representing the different schools.
And the school's principal is proud to have their personality represented while giving the students another lesson about teamwork, growth, and life skills.
Just students being able to use this as like even problem-solving skills, so different ways to represent flowers, and being able to show their individuality in every flower that they use, I think is really neat, because it's really important for students to know that there's more than one right answer to everything that we do.
Yeah, that has a dancing a little bit, but this is going to be having a lot of people dancing. We're talking about the Millennium Tour. Over 14 million records sold worldwide. Award-winning performer, you can see him here behind me, performer and R&B artist Omarion returned to the stage in Sugar Land with the Millennium Tour featuring popular artists like Bow Wow, Pretty Ricky, Lloyd, Ashanti, and so many others. I chatted with him before the show to find out why it was selling out from state to state. Omarion is back on stage and not apologizing for the sold-out shows with his Millennium Tour, taking fans back 21 years to the music they fell in love with.
To be able to encapsulate the 2000s, you know, in a sonic way and in the format of a show has been quite interesting.
Not only are you on stage performing, you're doing that incredibly well, but you also are the executive producer of this tour too. Yes. Talk about producing a tour like this on such a huge level and selling out everywhere. I mean, this is a huge accomplishment for you.
To be able to do this as an artist in this particular time in my career is so important. You know, ownership, you know, you don't get to be in the game for 20 plus years and don't have anything that you can call your own.
Not only is he producing and headlining his own tour, but Omarion is unbothered, which is the title of the new book he'll be releasing, along with his next studio album, Full Circle.
I'm not sure that any author has created, you know, an album and a book at the same time. So hey, I did it first. Soldier Boy, I did this first. Right. I'm the first R&B singer to do album and a book at the same time.
At the same time. Speaking of time, Omarion has put so much of it into the music industry, becoming a recording artist in 2001 with his group B2K, and now as a solo artist, his shows are about the connection he's built with his fans through the years.
A lot of our human conditions and our differences are just that. They're just differences. There's always going to be a meetup for different walks of life to come and connect. So really, when people come to the Millennium Tour, I want them to connect. I want them to live in this moment, you know, share the music, and also just enjoy themselves. Joy is a choice. Things happen, but you have to choose to want to be happy.
You know, we got to figure out what's your favorite thing here in Houston. And I don't want them stalking you now. We ain't going to give them too much. Right. But you know what you like to see and do when you come here to H-Town?
Papa Do's.
Papa Do's.
Give it a little I'm going to pop up, I'm going to be at the bar.
There you go. We'll meet you at the bar. The city of Houston met Omarion with nothing but love, packing out every seat at the Smart Financial Center in Sugar Land. It's the same kind of love that keeps him coming back to H-Town, putting on a show that had everybody screaming, oh.
It's such a beautiful place. Just the people. I really want to highlight the people. Mm-hmm. You know, there's many restaurants and places and nightlife to go to, but you gotta find your tribe. That's what I would say. If you're coming down to H-Town, you know, make sure, you know, you walk down the street, you talk to some people, and, you know, just feel the energy and the culture of Houston.